Hari Om, Bhagavad Gita, Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, chapter 18, verse 71. Bhagwan Krishna in the last verse said, by studying Gita, a student worships me in the form of knowledge. Jnana yajna, fire, it kindles the fire in us. So, knowledge, you gain knowledge. By that knowledge, that becomes a third eye. For everybody can get a third eye. Jnana yajna, Bhagavan says, that person worships me in the form of knowledge. Verse 71. Shraddhavananasuyascha Shunuyadabiyo naraha Sobhimukta Prapnuyat Punya Karmanam. Swami Dayananda Saraswati says, the person under discussion in this verse is one who listens to Gita. That person has got Shraddha. He looks upon Bhagwan Krishna not as an individual, but as Lord of the universe. Further, he does not try to find fault with Gita Shastra. He is Anasuya. That is, such a person has no malice against Bhagwan Krishna or Gita Shastra. That person, by merely listening to Gita Shastra, is freed. He is freed from what? Bhagavan says that he would go to the auspicious worlds which are born of Punya Karma. Whatever Punya you do in this world, that can be gained by listening to Gita Shastra. It means he is freed from the papas, that is sins, by simple listening. Swami Dayananda Saraswati says, even without understanding the meaning, just by simple listening, your papas will get destroyed. See, whatever medicines you take, for example, you are not well, doctor gives you some medicine. You go to the shop and get the medicine. You drink it. Do you know what it contains? You get cured. How? Did you analyze? No, whether this medicine has got this effect on this. For cough, I am drinking this medicine. Whether it has got this property, etc. You are analyzing. Just by drinking, you got cured. Similarly, just by listening to Bhagavad Gita Shastra, Bhagavad Gita, even without whether you understand the meaning or not, your sins will be washed away. Swami Dayananda Saraswati quotes Adi Shankara here. Adi Shankara says, what to say about the one who has gained the knowledge? If he has knowledge, he is totally liberated. Even by listening to Gita, a lot of papa gets destroyed for the one who has Shraddha. That is important. If you don't have Shraddha, then, sir, it is not having any effect on you. Because you don't have Shraddha. You are just watching TV and hearing the Gita. These are the words of Bhagavan. The one who merely listens goes to auspicious world. The one who studies and understands gains moksha. That is full liberation. That is what Swami Dayananda Saraswati says. Swami Chinmayananda says, if the listening of Gita is really to fulfill the student's spiritual unfoldment, Bhagwan Krishna indicates two conditions for that purpose. On fulfilling those two conditions alone, the student can hope to gather a large dividend of joy and perfection. One is Shraddha. Second is, the student should not have any malice towards the Gita Shastra. So, Shraddha to no malice towards the Gita Shastra or Bhagavan Krishna. What is Shraddha? Swami Chinmayananda says, the word Shraddha, though usually interpreted as faith, actually means much more than what is indicated by the English language. So English simply, even for the word dharma, there is no equivalent meaning in English. You can reasonably say this is that. It is impossible to define dharma in English language or give the meaning. Similarly, for Shraddha, simply if you put faith, that is not the right meaning. That is what Swami Chinmayananda says. Shraddha has been, what is the real meaning? Shraddha is that faculty in the human intellect which gives it the capacity to dive deep into and discover the subtler meaning of the scriptural declarations, and thus helps the individual to absorb that understanding into the warp and woof of his own intellect. How many things are involved? So, Shraddha is that faculty in the intellect. One, it has got four aspects. One, to understand the subtle import of the sacred words. First, you must understand. Two, absorb the same. Understanding alone is not enough. You must absorb the same. Three, you must assimilate it. Four, to make the student live up to those very same ideals. So, Shraddha is the faculty of the intellect to understand the subtle import of sacred words, absorb the same, assimilate it, and make the student live up to those very same ideals. Naturally, listening to the Lord's discourses can be fruitful only to those who have developed this essential faculty in themselves. So that is what is Shraddha. Then what is Anasuya? That is free from malice. They alone who are free from malice against the teachings of the Gita can undertake with a healthy attitude of mind a deeper and detailed study of it. Swami Chinmayananda says, no doubt, Hinduism never asks any student to read and study a philosophy with an implicit and ready faith. It is not demanding. But the human mind as it is, it will grow dull and unresponsive when it has prejudices against the very theme of its study. The intellect can receive the ideals preached in the Gita only through the sense organs, and these ideas must reach the intellect filtered through the mind. If the mind contains any malice towards the very philosophy or the philosopher, the arguments and the goal indicated therein can never appeal to the student's intellect. So, the crux of it is do not condemn the teachings without studying and understanding it. Before I say Bhagavad Gita, no, it's all fraud. Krishna is a fraud. Krishna is a. People even still today, some people say, no, Krishna is a. If somebody says like that, I don't want to say that from my mouth. If somebody says that, how can he understand what Krishna says? We, even without reading, even without understanding what Krishna is saying. So, that kind of a person will never get this knowledge. Such an individual who has attentively listened to the Gita, who has intellectually absorbed and assimilated the knowledge, Bhagwan Krishna says, he too gets liberated from the present state of confusion and sorrows, entanglements and bondage in his personality, and reaches a state of inner tranquility and happiness. The joy is inside. That is what Swami Chinmayananda says. So, Swamiji says, the kingdom of joy lies within all of us. Heaven is not somewhere else. It is not at a distant place. You need not have to die and then go to heaven. We are all thinking that way only. No, after death. That is why we do lot of pujas, punyas, etc. But heaven is here and now. Happiness and sorrow, heaven and hell, they are both within us. To the extent we learn and live the principles of Gita way of living, to that extent we shall come to gain within ourselves an ampler joy and life of greater achievements. That is heaven. So when you are happy, you feel like you are in heaven. When you are sad, you feel like you are in hell. So your mind plays that trick. So by listening to Gita Shastra, The more you listen, the more you understand, the more you assimilate, the more you try to live that principles. Naturally, one will get into heaven. That is definite. So I would say this way: while living, also you can get into heaven. After death, also, if there is something, because I cannot say whether it is there or not there. Who will confirm that? If it is there, after death, also you will reach heaven. That is the way I would look at it. And some more views of mine I have to give here. I think the listener has the greatest advantage to get this knowledge, Gita Shastra, Brahma Vidya. One has to study full Vedanta, maybe 13 years, 14 years, continuous study. He has to study the Upanishads. And then also there is no guarantee you will understand, even if you study on your own. You may or may not understand the full import of it. For that, you need a teacher, and the teacher must be worthy of giving teaching. So that is necessary. And then you can reasonably hope to get that knowledge. But Bhagavan here is authority on the Vedas. Who else is there? So he is giving the juice of this knowledge. Already in the Gita prayer song, if you remember, it is said, Sarvo Banishado Gavo Dokta Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsaha Sudhir Bhokta Duktam Gita Mradam Mahat. Already it is said in the prayer song, Upanishads are like cow. Who is the milkman? Milkman is Bhagwan Krishna himself. Arjuna is the calf. What is given is not milk, it is nectar. Nectar in the form of Brahma Vidya, which removes all the sorrows of man. So, what Bhagavan is saying, we are drinking milk that comes in the packet, but that is lot of work which is going behind it. Bhagavan is doing the milking of the Upanishads and giving us the juice. So, that is already said. What is given is the juice. We are sitting and drinking, eating, or whatever we want to do, whatever we are doing. But it has been given. The lot of effort has been behind it. Bhagavan has taken the juice and given to us. That is one important thing. Secondly, to listen to some lecture, the listener must have deep interest in the subject and respect for the master. For example, if you ask me to sit in maths class, however interesting the maths may be, however interesting, maybe a maths student may be thrilled to sit in that class, but I cannot sit because I have no interest in maths. Even if Ramanujam is going to give that lecture, maths lecture, I cannot sit even for 2 minutes. So my mind is not fit for it. Similarly, only those people who have deep interest, then they can alone hear, listen this Gita Shastra. Otherwise, it is impossible. Thirdly, Saint Tiruvalluvar says, Selvattul selvam sevichelvam, achelvam selvattul ellam thalai. Of all the wealth, one has gained. The wealth, that is the knowledge, that is gained by listening, is the best among all the wealths. Selvattul selvam sevichelvam, achelvam selvattul ellam thalai. So what a sevi means, hearing, your ears. Whatever you have listened through your ears, then that is the best of all the wealth. That is what Tiruvalluvar says. Why he says that? In my view, those days, Vedas, from those days, millions of years, Vedas were taught and are being taught till today, only orally. One has to have sharp listening skills because Vedas you cannot read like English. Whichever way you pronounce it is okay. No. Vedas pronunciation has to be perfect. Otherwise the meaning will change. So, but that what will happen is there are no books. Even till today, if you go to Gurukulams, if you go to Shrinkeri or some mutts where Vedas are taught by a teacher, the teacher will say the verses The student will listen to the verses and they will repeat. No books are permitted even till today. In Tamil, it is called Ezhudha Kilavi. That means not written in words in any book form. That is called Vedas. It contains full of dharmas. So, what Bhagwan is doing is, Bhagwan is teaching Vedanta, Brahma Vidya. Arjuna got the entire thing, whatever is there. He got it just by listening to it. Hence, he is prized. Indirectly, whoever listens it, uh, uh, he is prized. That is what I wanted to say. Verse 71. श्रद्धावाननसूयश्च शृणुयादपि यो नरः सोऽपि मुक्तः शुभालोकान् प्राप्नुयात् पुण्यकर्मणाम्. Finally, before ending his lecture, Bhagavan is asking a question to Arjuna, whether you have understood everything. That is the next verse. That we will see tomorrow. Harihom Sarvam Krishnarpanamastu. Narayana 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 Narayana